All right, it says we're live. We kind of scheduled this one a little bit different. Welcome to Moonlit Magic. We scheduled this one a little different because it's Mercury retrograde and we expect complications. We're just like not expecting them, but like we're prepared for, I don't know, maybe like sound going out, or Nikki's having some internet issues with her video today. So we're just kind of slowly moving into this one, and we're just prepared. So if you are here, I know Sierra said that she was here and she was going to do comments for us today. So say hi to Sierra, and Sierra, will you let us know that you can see and hear us, please? Because I don't know. So anyway, I'm Elise. Welcome to Moonlit Magic. I'm the one that you see on this channel all the time. I'm the one you hear talking most of the time. And if you want to know more about me, we have 6 episodes before this that you can go and listen to all my nonsense. Now, this is Nikki, and she is the my partner and co-creator of Moonlit Magic. And I'll let her introduce herself, and then she's going to introduce our guest.
Hi, I'm Nikki. You might have seen me in Elisa's group and in the Moonlit Magic group, obviously on here. My involvement kind of started with writing the Moonlit Living Moon Journal, which I think helped inspire the working between us, and that's awesome. Then we have Kat, who is below me. Kat is like an incredible artist. She does a couple different things, but my big thing of knowing her is her painting. It's really awesome. So as you know, if you've been following along with us, I do intend to launch a subscription box, and Kat is going to be involved in that by having collectible paintings in each one, and it's going to be really amazing. Kat, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
Sure. Well, I really like watercolor for its chaos and randomness. That's a strange thing for my probably like wanting to control everything. This is my way of exploring a medium that you can't control, or at least only up to a certain degree.
Explains a lot about why you're here, though.
Yeah,
you enjoy working with chaos and randomness. So, see, we're going to explain how you got here too, like really how you ended up here with us and how you shaped this. But keep going.
Sure. And then I also like the I don't know, kind of like meditative feel of doing pen and ink. So sitting there with a metal nib and ink is really satisfying to go ahead and add detail. So those are the current things I'm having fun with a new medium that'll be coming in probably within the month. I'll start working with pan pastels. So looking forward to that too.
Just like really indulging your hobby, you know,
exactly,
following that interest. That's exactly what we do, you know, or we talk about doing, sharing, focusing on like what feels good, and then what kind of grows from there. That's kind of what we're doing here and what we've been doing. So we're going to do this a little bit differently because this is our 7th episode. So what that means is we've been doing this for 6 full months. And it was a little unclear what we were doing. We started out, it was just, let's hang out. We're bored and we want to, I don't know, it's like been a pandemic forever and we wanted to hang out with our friends. So we figured out a way to do that. And plus only like 3 of my friends live where I live. So we have to figure this out one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
And Nikki and I have never lived in the same place. Like since we started working together, we have been 500 miles apart always. We've never been in the same place, even though we planned to. And the way that it all kind of came together a year ago was I was interested in the moon, and Nikki had just created a moon journal. Like that one that she had mentioned, and I made a mistake and I couldn't download it because I entered my email wrong or something, and we reconnected. But we've been friends for a decade. We worked together in a whole different lifetime for both of us.
Yes,
so
like totally different setting, everything.
We were different humans, you know, and so we this time kind of want to explain to you what we're doing here. Like, how does this happen, and why do we believe in it so much? You know, it's a little bit different. So every single time that we've done this, the way the energies come together is we talk about what we're feeling from the current full moon. And I got these new cards and I really like them. So we literally just looked at this and we're like, huh, okay. What's the Cancer full moon coming up? Let's think about it. And can you read that? Is it backwards? No, it's not, right? It's right. The full moon in Cancer, let your fears dissolve. And the moon actually rules my chart. This is something we're not really going to get into, but natal charts, look yours up. So I'm really connected to this anyway. So feeling into it. And then we also talked about Capricorn season, which is like where we are right now in time, and how those two things come together. So what we do every single month, always have, is kind of put the two energies together and see what comes from that. But we never really explained it, why and how it comes about. So, but Nikki really made sure, she's like, we need to tell everybody why we do this and how does that. So
because it's so cool and it really does work, and it is what gets us our topics when we're here. So I think that in the past we've personally known that's what we're doing, and I think we intended for people to know that, but we never went in a good direction of explaining it so that you know when you're watching.
Maybe you haven't, but okay, very clear.
My fault.
I've never been clearer than I am right now either. So we didn't really have that. We were just like, hey, let's hang out. And we leaned into that energy. Let's enjoy our time with our friends, right?
Yeah.
And so we do. And then Kat has been like, well, I met Kat through Nikki. And then she's been in our group on Facebook, Moonlit Magic Secret Society of Self-Care. She's been engaged, hanging out with us, just hanging out with us, coming in, doing our oracle readings. And I told Nikki at the last one, I was like, I want in the next 6 months time frame, I want to work with Kat. When do you think she'd like to come on? And I was like, well, when's her birthday? And Nikki's like, I don't know. And so I went and creeped on her profile on Facebook. And I was so glad I was like, we need her now. Like, we need her on the next one. So no pressure. And it just really interesting because Nikki and I were really feeling into this like we always do. But then we sat down with Kat, and Kat, I don't know, she said she told a small story about her life, and it gave everything like a center point and structure to where we're working, like this moving through our moods with music topic. We couldn't have done it if we didn't bring Kat on this. And it's only because Kat, it's her birthday. She just had her birthday. Happy birthday, Kat.
Happy birthday, Kat. With that, I just want to say, like, something that's so important about that is, I know I've done it in the past. I still do it and I'm working on it. But like, when you are around people, how important it is to actually be a part of the conversation. Don't just sit back and be like, oh, I'm too timid to say what I'm thinking. Because look at it, if Kat was silent on her story, like, we would not have even had this,
And I don't know if you, Kat, honestly, like, did you think your contribution, like what you were speaking up about at that point, was going to be like this pivotal to the conversation?
Not at all. It's actually like, oh, geez, the spotlight's over here. And I'm normally the person behind the scenes. Like, I tend to like bounce ideas with people a lot, and they go off and do the thing, and I'll just quietly be working on my projects. And that's actually a problem I have, is that I should be speaking up more, sharing more, and that's what's had me kind of like stuck. So I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and do this live stream. It's going to, rattle my nerves a bit, but I need to get over it.
You should have, 6 months ago, we were both, Nikki told me at some point, oh, let's do live stream. People were saying that, and I was like, you're kidding. I'm never doing that. So look at what happens when you just kind of go with it, because I feel like we all kind of decide. I was never going to get back on Facebook, honestly, when I started this either, ever. And look at now, that's like our main space that we hang out, where we have these discussions and talk about this stuff. And we're hoping in the future that you guys are more engaged about this once you understand how it comes together, because it's purely intuitive, and it's like really sitting with our own talents and skills and not demeaning those, because they don't necessarily make sense all the time when we utilize them. Like, this feels pretty random to me that we're sitting here talking about this, but the way it came together was like, whoa.
Yep.
Like, really crazy. So if you are here and you come on at any point, say hi. If you are here for the replay, let us know as well. And even where you found this, if you're a subscriber that you hang out here, or if you found us somewhere else. We have no idea. We're looking forward to connecting with you. And come join us on Facebook. Actually, one more thing. Kat has a giveaway that she's doing. This is her thing that she's doing special for us. So we're going to have a few little things like for you to do that we're going to cross-check for you to enter, because she's working really hard on this. Do you want to show that right now really quick before
Sure.
we move on?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, fun thing for journaling, you have these mild liners. It's a full set of 25, and you can go ahead and use them in journaling, where they're vibrant colors, but they're not so opaque to the point where they're going to be distracting. Like it'll go ahead and allow you to journal and add color to your spreads without, just neon eyeballs. Other than the fluorescence, the fluorescents are pretty bright. So that's one part of the giveaway. And then the other part is a mug gift basket. So it'll be this mug, currently being customized with a one-of-a-kind
Beautiful design.
image.
Like, really beautiful.
Yeah, so I can show off one part of it because it's almost ready. And
Yeah, I
You
love
go
it.
pretty far on that from last time I saw it.
So it'll be a sip and sway every day, tying
Yeah,
together the theme of florals, the moon, and music. So
Yeah, you guys
it's
better watch
very
out.
specific for this
I might get it.
particular stream.
Yeah, I might just take it for myself, so you guys better watch out. So in order to enter, what you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, join, or make sure. I mean, some of you are probably part of this. Even if you're here, there's a decent chance that you're already hanging out with us. So, but if you find this randomly, be subscribed here. Join us in the Moonlit Magic Secret Society of Self-Care group, and you're gonna need to like Kat's page, which is
Red Persephone on Facebook.
And I think you have to search it. An easier way is Red Persephone Art, because that's how it's to make.
Yeah, for the username is Red Persephone Art.
Yeah, and so we're gonna actually draw that next live stream. We're gonna play with this for a little while, and I think this is really cool because it's leaning into our hobbies. So now let's kind of get into the flow of everything, how this all came together. So we told you a little bit about this. The Cancer full moon is a very like nurturing energy. Cancer's water sign. And the full moon is a time of like, wrong one. Full moon is a time of illumination in our lives. It just kind of like, if you're in tune with this and you're aligned and you're feeling it, you already feel that like excess energy of the full moon, right? Like we all kind of feel it. It's just it's a stereotype. The full moon, everyone feels wild or crazy, but you don't feel so crazy when you know what's going on, when you understand it and you tap into that and you're like actually allowing yourself to feel it. So I think it's really interesting that we're talking about letting our fears dissolve with the water. And what we did to like kind of cross that with the Capricorn energy. Capricorn is a diligent earth energy. It's like this persevering mountain, or a mountain goat, like where you are climbing. Your daily life is climbing. But if you're not intuitive, like consider that mountain goat. That's the representation of Capricorn. If you're not intuitive, you're going to fall off that mountain and it's not going to be very comfortable. The goat knows what it's doing. It's just like, that's its lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? I know it's like a silly metaphor, but like to think about that, we need to be tapped into what we know how to do. And then the climb is not such a painful one. So that's like nurturing ourselves along the way. We cannot just grind and hustle and push and never take time to tap in and decide what really satisfies us or what we want. So that's a baseline. What do you guys want to lean into?
I think you did such a good job putting that together. And yeah, with
away with words.
You do. What was I going to say? So yes, the Cancer full moon, that's water energy. We want to dissolve. And at the full moon, if you follow along with journaling, like moon journaling, you'll recognize that the full moon is a time for releasing. So, we want to dissolve and release those things that are maybe getting us caught up. So let's say you're that goat climbing and you start focusing too much on that rock that's ahead of you, and you are so focused on it that you're trying to come up with this plan for getting around it, and it really just messes you up. If you just keep going with the way that feels right to you, let that fear dissolve. Don't be afraid of that rock or whatever. Trust that you're going to get through it.
Or turning the rock over. Like, consider that. You know what I mean? Like, or going, like, what if the method, this is where I feel like sometimes we get stuck on like a method. Like, what is this person doing because it worked for them? It seems to have worked for them, right? We don't really know if that person's like really happy with the journey, but that's how I feel it. Like, I don't want to literally just do things that make me miserable every day. I can't get up and do that. That was hard for me to work in ways that, I'm not saying all my jobs ever were miserable. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying I developed different things, and I realized more and more clearly what satisfied me the more space I gave myself. So if we're not taking like small steps towards that little bit at a time, and this is going to come up in a minute, then we're going to be miserable forever. We have to realize that how much power we have in our own choices. Even if we can't completely change the external circumstance, we can choose where we focus. When the storm comes, okay, so the water comes, where is your anchor? Okay, so this is part of it. What we're doing is showing you the cards. We actually, when we started with this, and then we had our next meeting, and we pulled more cards. Now Nikki and I each pulled cards separately, and then when we brought the messages together, it created something really cool for us both. So we want to explain how this all happened. This is what we're doing this time, because we want you to understand your intuition. You getting your deck out right now and pulling a card, the clarity you receive from that is like real. Even if you don't see the circumstance changed yet, your choices to believe in something different, that things can change and feel different in your life, is the magic. Okay.
And I feel like we should also like touch on the fact of that's part of the Cancer thing, is feel yourself. Like, maybe you're just going with the flow, but if you haven't checked in with yourself recently, make sure you're checking in. Don't just go with the flow or in a way that is not the right way.
Do you know, that's one of those things too that where some people are like, the only thing that goes with the flow is a dead fish. And I understand. I get it. I totally get it. But that's, again, where we're not making the choice to be conscious. It's not just always going with the flow. When it's time to make a choice, you're clear and you're ready, and you know yourself, you know the direction you want to go. And it's an easier choice to make. The shift is easier. You know why you're doing it. You don't have to go through all that like logic and anxiety every single time when you're already aligned, like at your own core. Right. And that's not like to say I'm aligned and I know exactly, I know everything for myself. We develop, and we're all individual, and it's different for all of us. So that's why we're here we're going to talk about music, how we each utilize that. We've had so many experiences with this week, all these different ways that they can be utilized, or that we already have been without realizing that we're actually using this as a tool. And now we realize that, like, wow, how powerful that is to say, I'm going to choose to like kind of melt away for a minute out of my own mind into my body, and let my body just tell me what to do with this now, with this energy. And then it actually releases from you. It's like the craziest shit, you guys. It actually releases from you, and it creates a room for other things that you really want. I swear. It's weird. Like, it's weird because I didn't expect any of this. I'll be honest, like a year ago, I didn't see any of this coming. Like actual real development and healing and satisfaction. I didn't.
Yeah.
You can't plan it, So sorry guys. Kat, do you ever want to talk? If you ever want to talk, just jump right in and tell me to shut up, please. So the next part of the energy was just it was about rooting and grounding ourselves, which I found so interesting, centering ourselves in our own bodies. Capricorn is earth. Body is very closely connected to this. And then it also spoke of like reclaiming our energy, which I thought, look at even that, like the sound waves. And I have found that relaxing into my body, or just like the moment or whatever, in whatever way necessary, whether it's dancing or screaming, whatever is needed, it helps me to move through that and actually process it. Okay. Somebody else talk, please. You guys got to shut me up from time to time.
Well, did you have any more to your?
I have way more. I have more to go with this, but do you have anything with your cards that aligns, or Kat, do you have anything that you want to add to this before we like really get specific about how it got to music?
Well, I can add a little bit more about the gift mug, because yes, a nice comfy mug is nice, but to build on more of the relaxing, treating yourself, self-care, it's going to be stuffed full of all kinds of goodies. So we'll have raspberry hot chocolate, chai tea, Lindor truffles. So there's caramel and milk chocolate, caramels by themselves, and also Milano cookies. So all the good chocolatey, relaxing.
And that's like part of like creating an experience, isn't that like, it's like different levels. So like, what if you put your headphones in and you have your nice warm mug, and you know what I mean? Like, create a cozy space for yourself. What do you like to do? It's really just like, I'm not saying that there's always a ton of room for ourselves, because sometimes the circumstances dictate otherwise. And I'm not trying to like put that down. But at the same time, that's something that we have to acknowledge, that if we could take a little corner for ourselves and anything we need, look at me. Like, this is like one of my greatest comforts. Honest to God, it's just like warm mug and my experience. I'm addicted to mugs. Like, I love a mug, and they all my mugs came from somewhere, and I know where they all came from. And so it's just like, what means something to you? Who cares? It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter if it's silly. It could be really deep work, or it could be something very surface level. It's all necessary, right? To soothe ourselves in order to do the deep work, because otherwise we burn out on the work. Like, all of it is work. You know what I mean? Like, it's all takes this energy from us. If we're not pouring back in, what happens? No, and I never even talked about, we can't even get into the tea ritual. That's going to be too much. We're never going to get through all this. There was you guys, this was a big one. This might be like a two-parter. I don't know. This one was
Hey,
big.
maybe it is.
So Nikki, do you want to share any of your cards, like, before I like share?
Sure, I can go through mine. So when I pulled mine, I just felt the need to do it. And that was, I guess we can say that was a self-care thing that I needed for myself. I felt chaotic. I was all over the place. I didn't even know what I was pulling them for, but I was like, I'm going to pull one from each of these decks.
Hold on. Hold on. Can we just pause a second? I do want to let you talk. I swear to God. I swear I want to let you talk. The cards, just for like 1 second, on this channel, like, so every month we do these moon spreads, okay? For the new and full moons, and they are shifting and changing in the upcoming zodiac new year. We're doing like 1 a month, but it's gonna be something that kind of develops and unfolds the energy for the entire month, that you can keep coming back to and kind of like clarifying and fine-tuning. But the reason that we're doing cards, that we even do this, is because that was such an intuitive experience for me. So playing off of Nikki's journal, I started to tap into each moon, because I wasn't even aware of what was going on in time either when I started to like connect with this. So she got me really focused on like the new moon, the full moon, the new moon. And so I started to find a pattern. My ritual started to develop, and it's the most consistent thing I've ever done for myself, ever. And it's always brought me a lot of clarity, and it's been real. The way they unfold is really wild. So when we feel called to pull cards, we pull cards. And Nikki, I kind of, when I'm close with people, I give them decks of cards that I feel called to, because I feel like we all need it in our hands. Like, you need to feel this. You need to experience it, or you need to pick it. You'll see it in the Oracle card for Humanity reading when you have your own, but you need to feel it to see your own intuition, and you need to see it unfold, how the energy aligns, because it's really powerful.
Definitely.
Oh, and come visit me. Come visit my website as well. I never ever talk about this. I never ever.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, if you didn't know, you can get a personal reading from Elise. She never tells
like a lot of decks, and you pick the ones that you want and how they come together. It's really
and they're gorgeous. They're so. She has so many.
It will make you feel really powerful because you'll like choose exactly what you want, and you'll see like this message come together, and it's pretty crazy. Anyway, Nikki's turn.
Yes. Okay. So I pulled 4 cards. I just felt like I needed to pull them. Didn't know what I was pulling them for until after I pulled them, looked at them, and sat with the meaning. The first one was from the Crush Your Goals deck, which you've seen on here before. This is going to be in the spring box. And the gist of this one was baby steps. And it says baby steps through the office, baby steps out the door. It works. It works. All I have to do is take one little step at a time, and I can do anything. I ended up, since this was the first one, I ended up attaching this to the word play, which was my word of the year. And if you have seen the word of the year post that I made on my website, you'll see each word that I've chosen breaks down to other words. So the P in play was for peace. So to me, it was coming to peace. Like, how do I get to the peace that I need? And then the answer was baby steps. The next one was L for love in play. And the card ended up being heal your heartbeat, which how crazy is that? And this is one of the
earth energy, right?
Yeah.
And, like, tapping into our bodies for sure.
This is one of the decks that I got from Elise. So yeah.
Obviously.
And then the next was A. So that to me was adapt. And I pulled the 2 of Wands, which is pretty crazy because that's like a choice. And to me, that was
2 of Wands too is like an opening kind of even less even as a solid like fork in the road, but almost like a pathway opening up.
Yes.
So
like, to me, that was,
natural opening, like following your enthusiasm opens up a natural pathway. It's sort of like
when you take the steps to get there, and then it comes, and then that pathway is, here's my choice on how I'm going to adapt. And then the last one, this is the important one. This was, I make Y stand for you, so yourself. And the card was crack open. And if you look at the bottom, it's a rose. And I shared this with Elise, and she was like, oh, Rose, that's my name.
I was like, that's for me, obviously. Because, okay, crack open as well. This is a whole thing. We've been having this whole experience with the Cancer full moon. I'm like, crack open, like, crab, shell, crack, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just going down these pathways and talking our nonsense. And I'm like, Rose, oh, that's obviously for me. And then she showed me the page, and I was like, what? Because it was just like exactly the experience that I had been feeling out. So it's like the way that the messages come together, because we're not in the same space. How would you, you can call it whatever you want, but it is what it is.
That's actually really crazy to have you going through all of the cards right now, Nikki, because like I literally just did a discussion post about breaking down goals into like small steps, and it helps me like just keep my head down and focus on it instead of getting overwhelmed by the big picture.
Yeah.
Because when you just think about the big picture, it's like, it's huge, it's impossible. And going ahead and making it, just here's the next few steps. Just handle the next few steps. And then you can actually make progress. And then the other one about Rose's middle name. Also, my other half, his last name is Ross. And Ross means rose in, I forget which language it's coming from. So it's like,
and that's just resonance, right? And what does that mean? Like, that's your experience purely. Isn't it so fun? I just think it's really fun how they connect to different, all of us uniquely. That's why I think the decks are so important, to feel the cards and experience.
And it gives us something to connect to each other with. Like, it's a way to say, like, here, we're going to connect around this. Even if we don't have the same experience, we can share. Like I was saying before with Kat, if she didn't bring up the music thing, if she stayed silent on that.
Okay, so here's the segue, though. So Kat didn't start, we didn't start the conversation that way, right?
Right.
What happened was so the next card that came out, these the decks that I'm showing you are the ones that I use for this Cancer, full moon spread. That's why these particular decks are being used. So this is the next card that came out, and it says music and joy. So this is why we started this conversation about music, because I just have my headphones in all the time. I literally dance around my house. Like if you walk around your house or pace around, I'm like spinning and flailing around like a maniac all day long. Like this, it's just fun. I don't know. It helps me express my energy. And we even have a meditation about it, or, you know, several actually. We have a belly dance meditation that's meant to connect with your heart space. And then another where it's just like an intuitive dance experience that, please don't judge me because I am not a dancer. It was like completely spontaneous, but it literally is titled How I Healed My, you know, mind, body, and heart with dance, because it just helps you melt out of your mind. So we got on this topic because, and then we got on this topic, and then Kat was like, do you remember what you said, Kat? Because I do. Kat said,
So I was in a weird place where, in order to like keep up with everything I was doing, I really had to be like really strict about like when I'm going to bed, and being creative minded. Like sometimes my brain's just going 90 miles per hour, and I needed a fast way to really like slow down, get ready for my brain to go to sleep. Like, come on, it is time. So I set a routine of playing the same song every time I was getting ready to go to sleep. So it would give me, you know, just enough time while the song was playing to wrap up whatever I was doing. So I had things semi-contained, because, you know, when you have a creative workspace, nothing's ever really contained unless you have to like move the workspace to somewhere else. That's probably about the only time it's perfect. But yeah, so I would go ahead and play the same song, and it would be the perfect way to just wind down and be able to get some sleep, because I was really burning the candle at both ends at that point.
So basically she like created a ritual without, maybe the word that people would use isn't always ritual, but that's what
it's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about is not stuff that we're like consciously like, I am going to do this to create this. It's kind of like a feeling you have. Oh, this music calms me down. I like this one. It inspires this in me. And so, yeah, Kat was talking about really dialing back and taking her mind to a different place to rest by utilizing music. I mean, consciously, but also probably like subconsciously, not really probably realizing how powerful that is as a tool for yourself.
And that's what we were planning. Our point is about using music as a tool.
In case you don't know what our point is and you lost it in the last 30 minutes. But like Kat, like, I mean, just kind of told this little story about that, you know, using it for focus, using it, like we were talking about, how can we use different sounds? And then it really is just about sound. Like it's music, because we all have the experience of relating to music in some way, with like in terms of release. You know, like so we cry, scream, dance, whatever it is, there's a lot of different experiences that it can inspire. And if we just let our bodies do that, like just put the song on, or the sound on that makes us feel whatever way, or that we want to feel maybe, or just like put a playlist on and let it take us wherever. Let your body guide you, let your emotions do what they need to do. And then like, let, you know what I mean? Just let that wash away. It really does wash away. So like, I was writing down, it said, preparing my body, moving my energy, creating my environment, and allowing my experience. I started with creating my experience, and I was like, that's not what this is. It's an allowing of it to move through me, or me to move through the world, so that no matter what's coming in, I am anchored. Again, back to that grounding, the anchor in the storm. I am centered. I am anchored in me, because I know who I am. So the very last bit of this, where I think we're going to get more specific about music now, won't help what we do, was the other side of my cards was, I had the Two of Swords, which is like a fork in the road decision. Okay. And then I had the Nine of Wands. I'm going to explain these to you just like briefly. The Nine of Wands is kind of like a heaviness, woundedness, you know, they refer to it as the wounded warrior energy. So basically, due to the hustle, the perseverance, the grind, or what we're trying to keep up with, we're beating ourselves down and we're tired. But then on the other side of this fork in the road, there is this intuitive energy. Okay, I'm trying to make sure the right ones are in front. I can't see because they're opposite up here. There's this intuitive energy of, which is the high priestess. This is deep intuition, or like divine intuition almost, tapping into ourselves, and then this deeply emotional, nurturing energy. So the choice being to live one of those experiences. We're going to live it, right? We're alive. Things are coming at us. How do you want to feel as you move through the experience? And that's it. It only took us 30 minutes to explain, and you're welcome. So, is there anything you guys want to say on that before we get like specific about the music part and how we use it?
I don't think I have anything to add.
I mean, who could?
Did you finish yours, Nikki? You did peace, love. What was the A?
Adapt, and then you for like yourself, how you're feeling. And that card was crack open. So, you know, like crack yourself open and know yourself. Right?
Oh, and Nikki, yeah, because Nikki's word of the year is play. So like Nikki goes into things in a different way, right? This is what I love about our intuition, the way that we do our own rituals, and like just tapping into us, because we don't practice the same way. We just do not. I do not. She tried to get me to journal. She's tried to get me to do things, but the consistency for me is like, let's get these cards moving. And something really funny about that, Cancer energy is this mothering energy. And it also is very aligned with the moon. We've had a lot of experiences talking about our grandmothers this week as well. And my grandma used to play cards with me as a kid all the time, like poker and stuff. Like, I mean, like I'm a child playing poker, but I'm like, I didn't realize that till later, my connection to like cards. And I felt like that was really, to me, correlates. That's an intuitive thing to me, like that she is guiding me, you know, with me. So it's just like, what is meaningful to you, lean into it and fuck everybody else and what they think.
Funny because I don't think my grandmother had any serious thought. Like I think she probably got these like from one of her daughters that were in the house at some point, but she gave me a deck of tarot cards when I was 12. And that was my start with like playing around with cards and kind of getting an idea and comfortable with the imagery. So, and it's really interesting.
I like that you went with getting used to the imagery, because like you're an artist, so you put things into images, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I want you to pull a card. Come on, Kat, get in this.
I don't have that deck anymore. Actually, like I started collecting decks. I think I had 4 at one point. One of them was really, really pretty. Like the edges were gilded. It was always so like satisfying to hold because they were like super smooth, and I wouldn't get paper cuts with them, because that's the worst when you get a paper cut from a tarot card. But I have a deck right now, and it's an embarrassing deck in the sense that it's like from Five Below, the random like Christmas gift, because I didn't want to commit to like a deck right now because I didn't feel pulled to one. I see a lot of
people buying. I'm okay. Hold on. Here's my admission. I do not spend a lot of money on my decks. I have like 80 decks. You guys gotta understand. I have a problem, and it's for your benefit that you can utilize any of those decks for your experience. But like, I think it's about intention. I'll be completely honest with you. Of course, I want to invest in artist work. Like, if I'm investing in someone's artwork, I'm going to pay what it's worth, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But same. Overall, like Hay House, I'm going for the cheapy thing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to no, I'm not sorry. Not going to
Well, in my case, I ultimately do want to design a deck. That is a goal, but I don't have a direction for it right now. And it's like, okay, well, that's okay. I'll get back to it.
Well, we actually also, so you never know where this cohesion of work might come together. Okay, so let's move into the next part of this. I wanted to say that this is kind of like unfolding, like the clarity of this is unfolding for us, and you like are seeing it kind of like in real time this time. If you do come on live at any point, we are doing our Oracle cards for humanity in the next, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so. That'll start. So get ready and let us know that you're here and that you want a reading. Sierra will let us know. Sierra will let us know when the time comes. Sierra, say hi to Sierra, because she's the one who does all the hard work by moderating the comments when they're rolling in. So I wanted to say, like, as a self-care centric space or partnership, that we are practicing our work differently than when we started. Of course, Sierra, Kat is first, and then Sierra is second, always. Our team always comes first. Our guest is always first when it comes to the Oracle reading, because Sierra was commenting. Maybe you guys can't see that. She was saying she wanted one, and I'm like, our guest always comes first, and then our team always, and then we always give ourselves a reading because we're selfish. Just kidding. But how we're practicing our work differently, because Nikki's always been into this subject matter her whole life. I was not until I actually started a really serious healing journey. I did not get into any of this ever until a couple of years ago. So it's never like too late. It's never like you don't have to be stuck in like an old way of doing things. Move into the stuff that is working for you. And if something doesn't work, maybe lean in a different direction. You don't have to like make these bold decisions and stop this and quit everything to try something else.
Yeah. And be comfortable with playing with different ideas. Play, like try something and be okay to say, well, that didn't work. That wasn't for me. Like,
yeah, no, and like that's the whole thing. Like, just lean into it and let your intuition kind of guide you. Because like Kat's doing that right now, and like big time. She's got a career and work, but she's also got like this really important hobby and talent and skill that she is creating time for. And space for more and more, And what does that feel like for you, Kat?
It's actually funny that you mentioned the career side, because I actually like surprised Nikki with a conversation. Was that earlier this week? I was like, yeah, about that trading thing. I decided no. And it was for actual practical reasons. I was
well, of course it was. You're a Capricorn. Of course, it's for practical reasons, but still intuitive, right?
Yeah, trying to renovate an area, but it is just too cold to be able to do work out there, and it is crazy what temperature it is outside right now. I think it's in the 20s. So, like,
it was negative.
Drafty old building. Yeah, it's crazy. So I was like, as much as I'd like this, I can't do this job here. Yeah. And it would be moderately okay before it was supposed to be a customer service on webcam though. So once the webcam arrives from the company, it's like, okay, well, there's the end of me wearing like a coat or a blanket, like nice comfy stuff. I'm like,
I have to prepare for this. This is like it's a lot of preparation for me to like sit on camera with someone I'm not very, very close with.
Exactly. So yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, I also think people who get up every day and get ready before they, get their kids off to school. And I mean, like, you guys are superstars, because I literally cannot handle it. Did you guys see Sarah's comment, though? I put it up, selfish Sunday self-care. So I enjoy that.
I like that.
We got to be a little bit selfish. And it's, take this stigma kind of off of doing things for ourselves. We do not always have to be out pleasing everybody else when we need to tap in. We serve everybody else better when we are in a good mood, when we're happy. We know as parents, come on. Yes. Like, we project that all over our children. We cause them damage. Look, the generational cycles, let's not get too far into this, but it does everybody good for you to take the time and space for yourself to get to know you, what you want, what satisfies you. Right. It's going to improve every area of your life. So don't be afraid of missing. This is the one part. Don't be afraid of missing out on something. Like, if you step back from the grind and the hustle, that people are going to get ahead of you, or you're going to, there's some sort of like hamster wheel that you're going to have to get off of. And then you have to get comfortable being off of it And then you can kind of softly move in a new direction it's like a relief almost though, once you step off. And then a soft transition maybe into something different. It just feels different. The work feels different. You enjoy the climb up the mountain, Okay, so let's segue. That's perfect. because that's what we're talking about, enjoying it along the way. So either the work gets fun, or you just don't notice how, the struggle. It's just a different experience. You put your headphones in and you go and clean your house. It's a different experience than when you're like, oh, I had to clean my house. Sorry, I'm making a
big one for me, as far as like helping to create that space. I saw this really amazing video. It was on YouTube. I might find the links later. I think you guys are putting together a doc for like playlists and things for this stream. Was the value of not being nice and how we work with that. So it was actually meant for like business, but I find it applies everywhere. So instead of being like quote unquote nice and trying to be polite, like you're not getting what you want. Whoever's giving you what you don't want, they don't know that. It's like saying like, oh yeah, I love this like ugly sweater that you got for Christmas. Like if you don't tell this person that, you might be getting ugly sweaters for the rest of your life.
Right.
So
yeah,
like, don't just swallow that. Like find a way to approach them and be like, hey, I know you mean well. I absolutely appreciate the thought, but like, work on being direct about
and like, what's the balance between like, I appreciate you and your effort, and then, but here's me, and I want you to know me so we can reciprocate together in a way that feels good for us both.
Exactly.
You're not like receiving a gift that you're like, because this is what allowing is, receiving, letting things flow and come and go, and then, but like we talked about, sometimes we have to make choices. Sometimes we do things and take steps. What are they? Are we clear about them? Why do we do them? And when we're not clear with ourselves, we get defensive, and we might speak to people in ways they don't deserve when they're doing their best. And, how do we communicate in the way that makes us feel good, makes them feel good? We get to know each other. There's a softness to that type of boundary and that type of knowing yourself.
Even when it's hard to do.
Like, oh yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. If someone's meaningful to you, don't you have real conversations with them? The more me and Nikki have been talking about this, because I don't want to say we've been butting heads, but like we're developing kind of like a more sisterly type relationship where we're just like, we have emotions, we have moods, we're understanding. We're always like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just like, we get like this. We overreact. There's a lot of energy flying around, and like, we understand it's not an unhealthy projection or toxic, like taking advantage of each other. We are able to receive each other in that sort of way. Isn't that what we want in our relationship?
Yeah, I was just going to say allow. You were saying allow before. We allow each other to experience ourselves and be able to practice working through those things with each other, where it's like, I don't want to say comfortable, because there are times where it's like, oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to do this.
Oh, or that. Definitely. She's like, why is she so mad? We're both like, why is she so mad at me today? Like, what's her problem? I mean, it's definitely like, I know that sometimes I'm like, it's your fault, not mine. But usually it's something that's triggering in me. Something that you were saying bothered me because I didn't quite understand it, or I wasn't in the mood, or I wasn't listening.
But it's so amazing to be able to form that friendship, which we want to do with everyone in this space, to say like, I allow you to have those things because you are human, like.
And don't you want, like, isn't that what we want for all of our relationships, just overall? Like, you might not have that relationship with us, but do you have relationships like that where you can be real, like who you really are, let the walls down and get to know people deeply, like as their true selves, nurture them, and communicate with them in a way where you're not taking the wind out of their sails.
Yeah.
That's a big one, because our own beliefs we project on other people. So if we have fears and doubts, perfect for dissolving our fears. If we have fears and doubts, we automatically put these on the people that we care about because we worry. It's not even meant to hurt people. It's meant because we care and we love them. We're trying to care for them. So if we are afraid, where does that go? It goes into everything we create. The legacy that we leave, the foundation that we create is created with fear, not our real true intentions, the things that we really want. And that's the really subtle difference between like the manifestation of what we're experiencing right now. If we don't like it, Nikki is a big part of what we have talked about because her journaling has a lot. Her journaling has a lot to do with 6-month cycles, which is really interesting. We started working together a year ago. We've been doing this stream for 6 months. And so it's these 6-month cycles that unfold of manifestation where we're not just right here, right now. We're in the present, we're appreciating, but we look back at what we were thinking about, what we were focusing on 6 months ago, where our intentions were. And then we see it very clearly right now. Like, if we can continue to do that, and like I go back into my readings on this channel, and I can see 6 months ago, holy shit, look at what was unfolding then. Let's see what's happening now. And it just taps into this energy in the coolest way. And that's what, how this all happens. One quick thing, you guys, this 2022, okay, obviously it's 2022. I want to say something. You guys are gonna think this is fucking random as hell, but we all know that Betty White has just passed and her birthday is tomorrow and it's January 17th. And this might really sound silly to you guys, but we want to honor that like energy, the energy that Betty brought to life. Like just you can't think about her without a smile on your face. She always was like making a joke, and she always had this beautiful philosophy. There's actually a documentary about her on Hulu, I think, where she talks about what her parents instilled in her about just bringing happiness out in others and focusing on the lighter side of life, and laughter, which is what we do a lot, or what I do anyway. You guys are welcome. So I just want to bring that up. Like, this is a year that we're bringing like that energy into the world. It's our time to lead. She has left, but we're not going to leave her legacy behind. So go donate to a local animal shelter, please, in Betty's honor, because this year is for her. And now, really, I know you guys know I talk a lot. Let's just get over it. Let us know right now if you want an oracle card. We're specifically going to spend the next few minutes talking about how we utilize music as a tool. And then we're going to go into our oracle card messages. So I just want to start with saying, so for me, I will get stuck on one song for like a week, maybe an hour, maybe a day, a week. And it hits me at different levels, and it opens me up to like this stream of consciousness that I wasn't aware of. So sometimes it's the tempo, the lyrics, the rhythm. Sometimes I'm moving, crying, dancing, like screaming. It could be one song that pulls all this out in me as I listen to it. You might not be that kind of person, but I put my headphones in and I swear it like just goes straight into my brain, and it sort of blocks out this external, or it takes the volume down to where I can be out here experiencing it with my eyes wide open, but I don't have the what is it, like the rattling noise in my ears of everything that's going on. And I can experience what's going on out here from a place where I'm centered in a sacred space anywhere I go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, almost going back to the logic thing. Like, if you have your headphones in, your brain is not necessarily going, oh, I need to figure this out. I see this happening right now. I need to know what's next. What am I doing? Having the music take you to another place while you're still in there to be able to accept what's happening for what it is without trying to project your own reasoning on it,
Making logic out of intuition, or like when we're in our heads, like think of anxiety and what anxiety does to us. It's really like a loop, our brain's just going. Put headphones in or turn music on, go out and sit under I have a wind chime tree, you guys, that I somehow manifested over the last couple of years, that it's just a beautiful experience to go and sit
awesome.
in the wind. I mean, and we don't even think about it. Like these tools that are being utilized, how often we're doing that, dancing, singing, crying to a song, how it can shift us. We want to be conscious about it, but make that small choice to let the anxiety sort of melt. Like it's the logic. We're trying to make sense of everything. You guys, I'm certain, as you guys both have some strong Capricorn energy, and you are, I'm certain, are used to like what the overthinking is.
Yeah, that it's my life. And actually, I'm glad that you went in the route of like anxiety, because my perfect example of using music as a tool, actually, I did last night as one way that I do it. I mean, music is a huge part of my life. It's a lot of what caused me to develop into the person that I am. But I was having like really bad anxiety last night, to the point where I was like shaking and I felt cold and I just couldn't calm my heartbeat. And that's an experience I used to have often and I don't anymore. But as we know, like you think you've healed certain things and there's a chance it's going to come up again, but you might know how to shift through it quicker once you've experienced it and aligned with yourself. So I noticed, I felt my body doing it. I was like, this isn't healthy. This isn't how I want to be. What can I do to slow my heartbeat down, get out of my head, stop trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future? Like I have no control over these things. So I intentionally went and I just found a YouTube channel that had binaural beats, and it was specifically for releasing negative energy. So I put my headphones on and I just I let myself feel, my heart racing and the shaking, but I let the music go through me so that it could help calm me and I was able to fall asleep. And that's one way I use it. And like we were saying, it's just sound, not necessarily always what you think of music. Another way that I use the tool is when I get migraines, I also use binaural beats that are specific to helping with head pain.
My doctor, and we talked about this, I went in for ADHD like evaluations. I'd never been diagnosed or anything like that. And my doctor, that was one of the first things he was like, I want you to try, because it actually rewires your brain. Because a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here, I know we're talking about it in like a different way, but go look it up. Like this is the real, the way that our thoughts and our anxieties translate into disease, sickness, stress. Like stress makes sickness. You don't have to believe me. I bet you've experienced it. I bet you've literally experienced your health decline just because of stress. I don't have to convince you of that. And I don't have to convince you that music can literally just take you out of the conscious, trying to make sense of things and help you just melt into your body in a different way. But then also there's proof of it out there that literally this is how it works. This is how our bodies and brains work. And we came to this intuitively. I didn't go out like, oh, let me prove it. I'm not going to prove it to any of you. You guys got to try it. If you don't feel good, if you feel miserable, try something new. I mean, what you got to lose? Just try something different. Be silly, be frivolous, play with us. Come play with us.
I find that working in a slightly different way. So like, when you get into like a new topic and start researching and learning about it, you realize, okay, well, there's a phase where it's like you knew nothing about it, and then once you learn a certain amount, it's like I still know nothing about it, but I'm just informed about what the words are. Like you realize how deep a subject really is once you've gotten into it a little bit.
When I get into a little bit, though, I start to use the labels, like in a really weird way. Do you ever experience that when I first start to learn about something and I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm this, 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 and this. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like I'm focusing on the struggle of like ADHD because I really got into that. I'm focusing on how this, I struggle with this and I struggle with this. And then when I got to the doctor, I'm like, I want to stop feeling like I have a short circuit in from my body to my brain. That's how it felt. The rest of it was like symptoms, it was other parts of it, but the core of it for me was this, and this is the feeling I want to resolve to start, because I wasn't sold on meds or, any of that. So that's not the conversation, but intuitive again, feeling into it. And I think that it's really cool to nurture what you find intuitive. Each of us individually, like you want to research, right? Like you need certain concrete evidence to see things like that. My experience is different, but you should have yours the way that yours is. And we shouldn't have to convince each other. We just all come together and we're like, oh my gosh, look how the pieces fit.
Right.
All bring the energy together. Isn't that fucking cool? Like that's the best part of this to me. You guys know that I never shut up again.
Well, but my point was that we get worried about like not knowing, and that's such a huge part of the human experience. Is like you will never know everything. Like when you finally realize you will never know everything, just okay. Well, I'm gonna know what I want to know.
You'll never agree with another human on everything. Like you'll never you'll never see it the same exact way, no matter how much you align and enjoy each other and stuff. You're always gonna have a different perspective. Like, so the labels, they can be helpful. They can help us find what we're looking for, but like, don't, get stuck on the label. You're not this thing, this thing, this thing. You are this immersive, person. That's getting back to the natal chart. Get into your natal chart because it'll freak you. I mean, I don't want to say freak you out. I'm not trying to say that, but it's wild. Getting in your natal chart really helps you like kind of unlock yourself and tap in. Okay, so a few of the other ways that I want to mention really quick that I almost realized I use music. It's not like, hi, I'm going to go and use music this way. Different things that I realized like, wow, I'm already doing this. This week I had this opportunity, what seemed random to me because I never babysit like ever anymore. And I had a baby like that I was physically like babysitting all week, holding. And what I realized was I was like humming to the baby and singing to him. I don't do that a lot. I don't sing a lot because I don't have a voice that I would be like, oh, I love to. I'm going to show off and sing in public. So I sing in my car. I sing in my shower. My kids don't care. They ignore me, or they laugh at me. But I was I was holding this baby, and even above and beyond sound, the vibration of like he and I were sharing. He would go from, being tired and kind of grumpy or sad or whatever was going on, and he would just kind of melt into it with me. And like, that's our power. We have so much power just in this like simplicity of the experience. Like I find that pretty incredible, honestly. So how about you? Anything else like you want to like, what are some other ways? Like, because I had binaural beats on because I feel like we're getting there, but tell me about some specific ways that music like brings you to a different place. And make sure you're commenting that if you want your Oracle card from Humanity message, because we do have a few on deck too.
And speaking of Oracle cards, I can English. My friend Robin is trying to comment, but she's saying that YouTube won't allow it. So I just wanted to put that out there because I had a friend messaging me about tech issues, and I've directed my other friend Rachel over to trying to go through the channel and then find the live video that way, because the direct live link doesn't seem to be working for her. So I just wanted to say I have two friends who are trying to be here.
We will pull them anyway.
Yes.
Right? Like regardless. We don't
because we do, right? We said
we always do this. And I actually have a few like I know we have I have another friend Nicole that wasn't feeling well, that she wanted to be here. So there's several different. Christine, we're gonna pull a message from her because we're expecting that like, hey, you might be struggling with tech as much as we are. We'd have no crazy expectations. It's no pressure. We're here to work with you. So if you have any issues, you miss your message, or you want to talk about oh my gosh, there was something that I wanted to say and it just like totally like blanked out of my brain. Oh, you want help entering the contest, especially. Please join us in the Facebook group so we can like guide you. We're here to do that. We do want to help you. We're not trying to put extra pressure on anybody or make it impossible to connect.
And speaking of the giveaway, because I know we wanted to like put together like a word for like ruling out some of the bots that could potentially be skimming the channel. How about we do go with Betty White?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here,
I mean,
Christine already has it up there. I was actually thinking that too, because we just be like, who do we talk about really? Like, I mean, because it's kind of randomly in the middle of our music conversation, but this is all about kind of like taking the heaviness off of us. So Christine did us a favor, and she commented this is our secret code word, because to make sure that you are a real person when we go to do the giveaway for Kat's markers. What kind of markers are they again? Like
they are mild liner markers, and they're by Zebra. This is the complete collection of 25 colors. And I think that's probably something I'll work on doing some color palettes with you guys, because I know some people are color obsessed. They want things to coordinate. So we can play around with that too.
So that's our secret code word. So the markers, the mug, and Nikki mentioned something about her coloring book. I'm not going to like get too far into that because I'm not going to like speak for her, but possibly going along with this Kat's giveaway for the markers, Nikki's coloring pages.
Yes. If you didn't download, it's just a free PDF of different word of the year coloring pages that some people submitted their words, and then there's
you submitted words. Kat, you submitted a word, didn't you?
Yep, prosperity.
Yes.
Mine was guys, in case you see it in there.
But to go along with Kat's giveaway, especially since there's markers, I was thinking I could print out one copy of all the PDFs and bind it for the winner. So then you get the coloring book too. And you can.
Yeah, and nobody has that. Like I don't have one. I don't have a physical copy of this coloring book. I might convince Nikki, I might guilt her into making me one. But she doesn't. So anyway, the secret code word, you need to be subscribed to this channel. Join us in the Moonlit Magic Secret Society of Self-Care. If you're confused, please just join there and then we can help you. And like Kat's brand new Facebook page, it's Red Persephone Art. If you go to search it, that's the right page.
Yep. So, the username is Red Persephone Art, and then the page itself is Red Persephone with a long string of numbers. So it's why it's so much easier to just Red Persephone Art to make sure you're on the right page.
So if you happen to be a winner and if you happen to be a winner, this is the code word. You got to know it. You got to know the code word, because otherwise you're not going to win. I wanted to share this. Sierra sharing about the baby. It just is I haven't done that in a long time, like saying to a baby. I haven't had the opportunity to do that in a while. My kids are older. We snuggle, we hug, we do stuff like that. But it's more of a playful energy. It's different when you're just like, we do not get enough hugs in this day and age. I'm just gonna go. We're not gonna get too much into that right now, but man, we need more hugs. It's good for us. So a few other things that I do. I have my wind chime tree that I realized that, wow, like that's such an experience for me. I think it's interesting because even screaming or I love rage rock kind of music. And I mean, to meditate with, that's it clears out of me, and I will just punch the shit out of a pillow or something, a couch cushion, or scream in my car. We need lots of different stuff: shake, jump, dance, move. Trauma, or anxiety. This stuff is locked in our tissues, and that's what we have to that's what the science is. We go into this healing and stuff. It's locked in us. So whatever your body needs, stillness, movement, do it. What do you need right now? Do you need a hot cocoa? Do you need a shower meditation? Do you need to go journal? Do what is required for your energy right now. And that's the ritual. And that's why we're here. That's it for me. Oh, I want to know, what is your all-time favorite song? Because I really want to I want to ask you really quick. I was kind of resonating with mine, the lyrics, because we haven't really talked about lyrics. The lyrics.
Yeah, that was actually going to be one of my things that I was going to say.
Okay, guys, this is the last thing we're going to talk about before we do our oracle card messages. I'm going to start to shuffle. Kat is number 1. Sierra's number 2, because we are very thankful for you being here, both of you. We are extremely grateful. And then if anyone else, I'm going to do one for Christine, for Robin, Rachel, both. Robin, Rachel, Christine, Nicole. and us. So we got a few on deck. So let's talk about lyrics as we start to shuffle. Does that sound good?
Yes.
So actually, this one's pretty new for me. It's a song by V&B Nation called Fearless. The live version, I really like how they open the song, but I don't generally like live versions over studio recordings. So I do appreciate them both, but there'll be differences in mood whether I listen to the live version or the regular one.
Kat, can you read this from my friend
Yes.
Christine? She's an artist.
I am on Instagram.
We'll see, there you go.
My personal, I haven't created one for the business because
we made Kat do this for the stream. Okay, so the Facebook page is just, we made her do it because we're like, Kat, we need you to have a page, you know, like for people to go to find you and follow you. So yeah.
So it'll be just a moment while I get my username. So let's see. There we go. Contagion Cat 13. This is a remnant from a previous life where I don't quite vibe with it the same way. It was the small business I had when I was back in like Western New York, and that relationship is over. So I've been kind of just sitting around with that for a while now. And
can I ask you a question really quick?
Sure.
Do you by chance have the painting thing that you did of me? If I around nearby you? Because okay, so one day I was just like, Nikki all of a sudden's like, you have fan art, and I was like, what? And Kat, like, I had done this little thing. I was like, oh my god, this is the sweetest thing on the whole earth.
It was entirely by random because I got a new palette for Christmas, and it's a cheap palette, just to be honest, flat out honest. And it's a palette where I've been looking at these colors for a couple years. I really love how they're put together. I was thinking like, I don't like trying to do swatches from like on screen because you'd never quite get the right color. So I was like, I'm just going to get this palette. I'm going to find colors that are similar to it with my own stuff. So eventually I will have like a permanent version of this palette where it's not going to just fade within a few years. But the first thing I was doing, I'm like, there are so many yellows in this palette, and it's not a color I normally paint with. And I happen to be on YouTube scrolling down, and I see YouTube suggests like, hey, look, there's Elise. She's wearing a yellow shirt. She's got blonde hair. Like, this is perfect. So I start going ahead and mixing up these paints to go ahead and get a feel for like what the range can do together. And if I wanted to change stuff about the palette, because I'm weird about a palette needs to be able to like do certain things for me. Otherwise, I need to change stuff around. So that is the start of little Elise who just sits at my desk with me. Because I mean, it's an entirely like mini little thing. I was just like, I want to try these paints. Well, hold on, I'm going to turn my flashlight on my phone so I have a little bit more color.
I was like, and then I like had to beg Kat. I'm like, please send it to me. You don't want it, do you?
No, that's totally washing it out. Maybe there.
There you go.
But yeah, it's little Elise,
like,
and she's got gold in her hair.
Like the most flattering thing on the earth. Like I woke up, it's the sweetest thing ever. I just thought that was so sweet. Sorry, I didn't want to like try to I know that I'm not the center of attention enough. But Christine, who commented, she is like a friend of mine, like since high school, and she's an artist, like the talented one as well. And she's exploring her own interests in, I think, graphic design and that sort of realm right now. She's actually the one that she's supposed to be. We're supposed to meet tomorrow, I think. We're getting together tomorrow to talk about, we're doing these zodiac herb recipe card things that we really are waiting until the last minute to roll out.
That's awesome.
But starting with Aquarius season, Herbs of Aquarius, we're doing a thing. So it's going to be a whole year-long thing. And I think we might print the recipe cards and put them in Nikki's box. Maybe. So we'll see. I might have to invest in that.
I'm big on the herbs because that is like the most dedicated time I have to focus. I was just like, you know what? Let me just lump this into like, I'm making dinner anyway. And that's when I kind of like just focus while I'm cooking. And like the kitchen tends to be like, this is my area while I'm working on it, which is great because, kids shouldn't be playing underfoot in the kitchen, hot stuff and knives and whatnot. So yeah, that definitely looking forward to seeing those when you're done.
All right, I'm super excited. Okay, Kat, your card, I was shuffling and then I set my deck down and then like a card like flew across the room. So yours is just hanging out. I have not looked at it yet. So I'm waiting for Nikki. So we're going to start our Oracle Cards for Humanity messages. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're so grateful. I know I'm not like a musician. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to play you music and move through your moods. This is more like hey, how do we develop? How does this help us? And how can we consciously use these tools?
Yes.
We would love to know how you use music and how it moves you, I guess. What ways are you already utilizing that? And in what ways can you consciously take that and make that a tool in your life to, get out of your head and drop into your body and get to know yourself better? So I have Kat's very first message. If you guys have not been here before, we do what's called Oracle Cards for Humanity. Nikki has the cards. What is it called?
Nice.
Cards Against Humanity, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes, that. And I mixed it with Kids Against Maturity.
So like she has these two decks. We kind of pick the ones that work. And then I have an Oracle deck that I use. I still haven't looked at this. I hate looking at them before the right time because it like ruins a surprise for me. And I like to be surprised too. So I have this other deck. And what we do is put the messages together. And then Nikki has been using her goal cards to give like kind of a bonus message of like what to do with that. So from like across the country, not across the country, but 500 miles away, we put these messages together with her own little intuitive experiences, and it's fun. So the very first one.
So the thing is it was originally meant to be like funny, and it kind of came out where it wasn't. It was like sweet messages. So
it's very sweet, and it's like
I have a guest with me today too.
Welcome.
So Kat's question, which again was supposed to be funny, they aren't necessarily always funny, but they're usually it's very interesting to see how they come together when we put them together. So Kat's is, this looks like a job for
my own energy. That's awesome, actually, because we're reclaiming our energy. Remember that card, you guys? Do you remember it? Remember?
Yes.
It says, I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand, and it is up to them to do the rest. That's perfect. I love that so much.
Okay. Really nice.
Are we doing gold cards?
Do you want a gold card? Should we do
a gold card? Up to you.
Do it, Nikki.
All right.
They're going to be in your box soon. So like, let's pump these up. Nikki is like she's doing, that's launching for the Zodiac New Year, which is Aries season. You guys, she's going to be putting out her Moonlit membership like box. And basically it's like an altar kit for the spring season. And it's going to bring a lot of different things together. So there's a lot of, there's cards in there, this deck of cards, literally. There's going to be some artwork from Kat for the whole year, but you're going to see that in the spring box. And so all these pieces are kind of coming together in that for her. And then like, you can come visit me and get your own reading if you want, because like whatever feels good to you, you know, and we want you
the
to
box will include things for you to play with and see what you like.
Yeah. And then you come back here, hang out with us, or we have the readings. We're sharing different rituals as well. And you come and I think we're going to do like workshops eventually where we actually walk you through and guide certain rituals that Nikki has the materials for in the box. So like a whole cohesive experience and how it's developing for us as well. So Nikki,
and it's in development. It's all just coming together for us
intuitively. Okay, Cole, let's read Kat's goal card.
Kat's goal card says, in failure, there can be success. By that, I mean you can learn what not to do. I find the funny in a lot of failures because I've had enough of them, but I am resilient. My soul is very determined. I don't know if
How do you feel about that? I love the word resilient for Capricorn as well. That is like such a mood. How do you feel about your message, Kat?
It's really funny because I was catching up a friend who I hadn't seen in a few years on like what was my life story for like the past 5, and he's like, "Did you break a mirror or something? Like, did somebody put a curse on you?" Because it was just chain after chain of like these things did not go to plan, and I'm still here, still pushing through.
So. Yeah, but look at that. Like that's like part of what we were saying. You can't always have the logic and the plan. You have to. Sometimes you have to just let it be and feel your body and what is happening and be with it.
And well, and even the resilient energy of like you is honoring your own energy, being there with that, right? And then you can experience like these failures, you know, but we experience them differently. They're not so overwhelming as like these that's another thing with sometimes it feels so insurmountable, but later on the same insurmountable circumstances feel like completely like irrelevant. We don't even notice them anymore. Yeah. And that's us and our growth and our alignment. And so every little step brings us closer and closer to that. So yay, I love it. I love it so much. This is the best part, actually. Isn't this so fun? Yes. It's Sierra's turn next.
Okay. Sierra's card is from Cards Against Humanity. And I love this. It is, what's the most emo? And I just love that we got a card that says, what's the most emo during a music thing?
The most emo, it's a hug, which I freaking think is kind of adorable.
Yeah, it is.
It says, hold lightly. So it's emo to hold lightly, apparently, whatever that means. It says, I take the things and people that come into my life lightly, not holding on too tight, so that when it comes time to let them go, they may go smoothly. This does not mean I love them any less or not value them, but that I am open to the changes of life. I love these when it comes to like kind of intuitively allowing the music to move us in different directions. Like these feel really nice messages.
All right, let's see. Sierra's goal card says, I come in peace, but I mean business.
Oh my God, isn't that the perfect? Sierra's season is coming up soon. It's Aquarius season, and I kind of love it because like thinking of like an alien. Aquarius is like technology and that like expanded energy. And that's what's actually coming up next month. Hold on, preview of this. Next month, we're here for the Leo full moon. So this is kind of the energy we're going to work with next month. In Aquarius season, open up to change. Look at that, Sierra. Look at that. That's funny now that I'm looking at this. Open up to change for Aquarius. So this is the energy we're going to play with next month, and we'll see what develops. We have no idea. We really don't.
I'm afraid of next month because I am, my big 3 is what they call it, is Leo, Aquarius.
Well. Yeah, but it's flipped for you because you're Aquarius moon and you're a Leo sun, so it's going to be Aquarius season. It's going to be very illuminating. It's going to be a polarizing energy for you. For sure. Oh yeah. Robin or Rachel first, Kat?
Which one? We'll just go based on timestamp. Why not?
Which one asks first?
All right, we'll go with Robin first. Ooh. Just based on when she messaged me.
You said Robin, it just flew to the ground. Go ahead, Nikki.
All right. Robin's card says, alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of
new adventures.
Ooh, I like it.
Says, today I open myself to new adventures. I go out and do something I've been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I might faint, you guys. Hold on a minute. I trust my intuition and follow my desires. I'm just going to slam my computer shut and leave. I feel like it can't get better. It can't get better than this. Oh my gosh. Can I read that? I need to read it again.
Read it again.
Today, I open myself up to new adventures. I go out and do something I have been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I trust my intuition and follow my desires. Like that's hitting me hard right now. Like that one's intense.
I mean, that is medicine, right? I love that. All right, Gold Card says, the only courage you ever need is the courage to fulfill the dreams of your own life. But if you don't have a dream today, start dreaming.
Oh, she definitely has one, and I've messaged her that her reading is perfectly her because
it's gonna be a whole new adventure. Sierra, I love Sierra. This is what I love. And this is my favorite part, is getting feedback. So like, I wish Robin and Rachel could be here, but maybe at least if they're in the group, or maybe I will comment at some point. Maybe things will start to work. I want to hear what you think of your message. So Robin, that was Robin, right? Mm-hmm. Was the first message? So Robin, we would love to know what you think of your message. Sierra says, it all describes me, alien, hold lightly. We all have a little Aquarius energy around here, so we're all a little bit alien. Ready for change during my golden year, 26. So yeah, this is Sierra's golden birthday this year too.
Ooh.
So that obviously is going to be a big impact. It means something cool is coming, right? It must be, and nothing's a coincidence right now, honestly. So, you know,
gold is the color for Leo. It's going to be a Leo full moon. So,
all right, let's go with Rachel. Rachel, right, was next, and then we'll go. Then Christine.
What never fails to liven up the party?
No, I'm not ready. Wait. Sorry. Hold on. Wait, something's happening. Infinite creativity.
True.
Says, at any moment, I am able to tap into an infinite source of energy and creativity within me. Unique ideas flow through, each one capable of blossoming into beautiful creations. Put that music on and tap into it. Hey, like, holy, these are so good today. Like that, the words that are like popping out of these cards. I'm impressed with us.
All right. Okay, do whatever you have to do. People always want to tell you how to do it. No, do it your way. And don't ask for like, oh, how can you do it? Do it. Figure it out.
Flow. The flow of infinite creativity. Put your headphones in. See, even the figuring part. See, is what's so interesting. The goal cards are goal cards, right? Like we're thinking like, what are the steps? But the more clear you are with yourself, the more aligned you are to yourself, the steps are they're not as heavy or confusing. You know, you're like, oh, this is the step. This is the step. This is the step. And have you guys seen the movie Soul, where they go into that other zone?
You have told me to watch that so many times and I still have not.
It's just like, it's such a feeling, you know, like you're like, oh yeah, oh, I forgot that's what it is. When you just tap into something that is creative, a hobby, an interest, curiosity, you know what it does for you. And to give that more and more space, it really changes you as a person. To give yourself the space, even if it's not a money, don't try to make it into money. Don't ruin it, at least right away. I'm not saying it might not develop into like an abundance or prosperity cat, but don't try to force it into that and control it. Mm-hmm. Let it unfold into something really cool, I think. Okay. Next up is Christine.
Okay.
Ooh.
Christine's question is, who are you going to call?
Me. It's me.
Yes.
The edge of greatness. Christine, you need this message. Christine needs to go for it. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing opportunities my way. I don't crumble at the edge of greatness. Okay, I'm going to get into this second. I take the opportunities that come and walk through the doors with confidence. Christine is also a Capricorn, you guys. And she thinks things through very thoroughly, does lots of research. And I definitely think, I love the bringing opportunities, and I don't crumble at the edge of greatness. I think that you need that message and like own that, feel it, What's her goal?
The goal is do not confuse dreams with wishes. There is a difference. Dreams are where you visualize yourself being successful at what's important to you to accomplish, and dreams build convictions. It's always hard to get that right.
The Christine too, like, I mean, again, we've known each other for 20 years, so I know very much so like that. We talked on this about music and about like kind of relaxing into it. She's like, my son's needing attention. It's okay, Christine. Yeah, believe me, you know, like this is just a different experience today. We're just here. Like there's a few people that obviously aren't able to make it on because again, Mercury retrograde is going on. It's chaos. Nothing makes sense. And it's another important topic just to say, like, not everything is logical all the time. You know, like we sometimes have to kind of let go of that when things don't make sense. Let them not make sense. Just be uncomfortable, you know, and lean into the dream. You know what I mean? That what feels whatever, rather than trying to make something into clarity when it's not quite right yet. The energy isn't quite there yet.
There's a time and a place for
clarity. Exactly. So, Nicole, I want to do one more for Nicole, and then me and Nikki, and then we're done. I know this one's a little longer, but I feel like as we make, now that we've explained how we're going to go forward and share the energy, I think it's going to make sense. You know, for the next 6 months, we're going to show you this, but we don't have to say, here's why we're doing, and every, you know, break it down to that level. We will just show you how it comes together.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We have in 1,000 years, when paper money is a distant memory, how will we pay for goods and services? We've had this one before, I know for sure.
Nicole, this is for you. Self-appreciation. I love this for Nicole as well. I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself. I love that. Find a comfortable space and bring a pen and paper. I find this so funny. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. That's so sweet. I think it's so perfect too.
Please sit down.
Look, please let me finish. We're wrapping up. My kids are not
for him to like hurt himself or something because he's jumping around.
My kids go with their grandparents now on these days, and so I have better bandwidth and no distractions. I'm distracting enough all on my own.
All right, goal card is: it's amazing what we can do if we simply refuse to give up.
Oh, I love that. That one is for you, Nicole. I know I said that like 7 times, but since I know she's not here, she's not feeling well. Okay. Nikki, you. I got a card already came out, so might as well go for it.
All right, let's see. What's mine? What? All right, mine is: why do I hurt all over?
It says, I cannot learn other people's lessons for them.
Oh, that's good already.
Yeah. They must get there themselves at their own time. No, did we literally just say those words like 3 seconds ago? I can simply hold loving space for them as they go through their journey. I feel like we just literally said those words like a second ago. Why do I hurt all over? You're holding other people's, right? Other people's choices.
Yes. So this card just fell out, so I'm going to use it. It says, I know how it looks, but just start. Nothing is insurmountable. And I feel that very much.
Didn't we just say the word insurmountable though? Because I sent that to you in a message earlier. I was like on my way to do this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just had the craziest stream of consciousness. Like, we're in this retrograde. Everything is chaotic. The world seems to be slowing down. Nothing makes sense. Literally, that's what this is. Mm-hmm. And if you're aligned to yourself, you almost have like a superpower at this time, because you know how to play in between the lines of logic. You're not trying to make sense of everything. You melt in, you go with the flow, and things actually move faster. And if they don't move faster, you just enjoy it a whole lot more, right? And that's what the music does for us. Mine already came out. Let's do it and be done. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're so appreciative for every one of you. If you were here on the replay, just as appreciative. Make sure that you, again, are subscribed. Join us in Moonlit Magic Secret Society of Self-Care, and like Kat on Facebook, Red Persephone, or the actual name. That's the name of the page. And if you're searching at Red Persephone Art, it'll get you to the right place. Do not forget to do that so you can enter the giveaway. Final messages for me. You guys probably aren't even here listening to it. So,
what is the meaning of life?
Oops, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
No problem. It says, what is the meaning of life? Can you read it?
I am enough. Really?
Really? I love that it's a mirror. Can you believe it? Come on. Like, this is what we're talking about. The mirror, the water, the reflection, the nurturing. It says, I am beautiful just as I am. Wow, I needed that fucking message. Damn, okay. I am loved just as I am. I am worthy just by being me. I don't need to fit in. I just need to be myself, and the right people will come into my life. Those who see and appreciate me for all that I am. Thank you, Mike. Just can't handle it. Nikki knows what I've been going through this week. So I feel like it's just like, there's no words. I can't have any. I'm speechless now. I'm done.
All right, are you ready for your goal? All right, it says, this is my daily mantra, sometimes minute by minute mantra, which is love yourself. Learn to love yourself and stay in this moment. This moment right here is where your power is. Yours was awesome.
I'm sweating right now, just so you know. How do we wrap it up with that? Like, this is crazy. This is my, oh, no. Okay. Thank you. Join us next month for the live stream when we go wild. How do we get more wild than this? I don't know how that happens. This is our energy for next month. Hope that you're here with us. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Kat, for being here with us.
But what was Kat gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh,
go ahead.
So I have my friend Irish has been trying to comment too. It says makes the keypad go away to type. It's just like everybody trying to go ahead and comment.
We're still here. No, go. Sorry. Yes.
So it's like that's probably not going to show. Irish, we got your message.
We
hang out for a minute.
We believe you. We don't think you're just. I want more messages for me.
No.
These
are definitely for the people that they're for. Like you can tell as soon as you hear them.
We are more than happy. We are more than happy to pull as many messages as possible. I mean, I really think at this point you're only here for your message. I'm assuming, if it's meaningful to you. So let's go for your friend. Let's go. Nikki, go.
All right.
I know your kids want you. I'm sorry.
Studies show that lab rats navigate mazes 50% faster after being exposed to.
Okay, hold on. Wait, I messed it up. Give me a second. I'm making a mess. It says, doing our best. Read your question again. Can you say it one more time about lab rats? Say it again.
Studies show that lab rats navigate mazes 50% faster after being exposed to
doing their best.
Doing your best.
That's adorable. It says, we are all doing our best with the understanding and awareness we have in the moment. Any decision I take is okay, no matter the outcome. I make the best of any situation and I learn as I go along. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just like so overwhelmed by all this. These are so good.
Okay. That one was a redo.
Oh, Irish, that was yours. Did you hear that? That one that we just read was yours. The doing our best. That's your message.
Oh, okay. Hi. All right, let's see. Oh wait, that was your card. I have the pile of cards I already did. Start before you're ready. Don't prepare. Begin.
That's you. That's for you, Irish. Do you like that message? How do you feel about it? That's our favorite part. We love to know how you guys resonate with the messages. You can't tell us right now, hang out in the group with us and let us know more because it's kind of it's more of a private, basic one. bit deeper. But we're so thankful for you being here, commenting, sharing, supporting Kat, especially. We're really grateful. Kat has brought a lot, like she's been engaged, hanging out with us. That's why she's here, you know, and that's how we get here, just hanging out, enjoying each other, connecting. Kat's brought people so many times, you know, and we're glad that we can bring your friends and your supporters messages as well. So anything that we can do to support you guys, we're here. We love you and we're so grateful. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you in the group and in a month.
Yes.
And that's we're doing the giveaway in a month. Just so you guys know, if we weren't clear about that, we're actually going to draw that in a month. So, all right, thank you guys so much. Oh, well, one more message. This is from Irish. Love it. Perfect. Thank you so much for being here. We are so grateful that you hopped in at the last second.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.